Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who may enjoy it too. Alright, so one of my subscribers said to me that he is considering moving in with his girlfriend. They have a really good relationship. And they've been living apart, but they're mostly at her place. So he's like, he doesn't think it makes sense to keep on paying rent on, two different homes, two different bills, and he's never there. He said he goes there just to get supplies and leaves, basically. He doesn't even have any pets there. So he was saying, Queen, I really want to move in with her, but she's an Aquarius, and I'm wondering, how is she with money? He's like, how are you guys with money? Like, he said that, she hasn't had any money problems that he's seen, but he's like thinking, is she going to pay the bills? Is she going to, do the things she has to do? And when you live with anybody, that's a consideration. I'll never forget when I was living with my daughter's father, the Capricorn, and the water got turned off. And I gave him the money for the water bill. And stuff like that. After that, I paid all the bills. I didn't give him money for anything. I put everything in my name and I paid everything myself. And I've continued to do that. I mean, beyond. I still do that. Everything's always in my name. I don't care who else live there. I'm going to make sure the bills are paid because of that experience. Waking up to get ready for work and there's no water. Like, what the hell? And he spent it on a video game. Are you serious? I think it was just his way of rebelling because he was pissed at me and angry at life in general because at that time he wasn't working. He was down on his luck. So I give him the money for the bill, and I think that was his way of rebelling and spiting me. But you live here too. Hello. Anyway, so after that, I wasn't playing that. So when this gentleman asked me this question, it triggered in my mind, like, yeah, that is a real important question. So he's like, is she going to pay her half of the rent, And I was like, well, she's been living there by herself all this time, and she's obviously been paying it. So it's a good probability that she will continue to do so. So he wants me to tell him, how are Aquarius with money? So all I can speak is in general, because each one of us is going to be different based on our sun sign. Some of us are going to be better than others. But in general, Aquarius aren't bad with money. In general, Aquarius like to make money. Once Aquarius finds something that they love to do, Aquarius will put their back into it and they will be successful at what they're doing. So many Aquarius make a great deal of money. Most of us, we're smart, so we usually have jobs that pay us for our intelligence. Or we have like things that we do with our creativity that pay us for our creativity. So many of us have good jobs and we have a pretty decent work ethic. Most of us will go to work. But you do have the dark ones, the irresponsible ones who don't want to work 9 to 5. They work sporadically. They don't really pay their bills. You got some sporadic energy going on with them. But the average Aquarius does well. The average normal Aquarius does well with money. Not only do we do well with having money or making money, we also like to spend money. Aquarius like to buy things. One time I was reading this book about Aquarius, and it was saying that Aquarius and Libra make a good match, as you guys mostly know. And it was like, the only problem is, who's going to balance the checkbook? And I laughed to myself because it was saying underneath how both of these signs like to spend. We do like to buy things. Now, if you could think about some of the more famous examples of Aquarius, think about Oprah, think about Michael Jordan. They make a great deal of money, have always made a great deal of money, save, apparently, a great deal of that money, but they also spend a great deal of that money. Oprah is no stranger to spending. I remember I was reading an article the other day about the designer I like, Danielle Nicole, and it was saying that she got her start because Oprah bought like 5,000 of her bags, like just to give away as gifts, And we all know about how she'll give these, lavish gifts and, build schools and, she spends a great deal of money, but she has a great deal of money and she makes a great deal of money. So, and again, gives away to charity. And Jordan, pretty much the same. Spends a great deal of money, makes a great deal of money, gives to a lot of charities. So, generally, Aquarius are pretty good with money. Good with making it, good with spending it. We're good with it. It's just like I said, it's just those of us who are less responsible. Not all Aquarius are responsible. Some of us are because of the Saturn influence, but some of us are so in the Uranus, like we kind of like shun the Saturn energy. And the Saturn energy, even though it can be rigid energy, is beneficial for Aquarius because it helps us to be more self-disciplined. So I never shun it. I welcome it in, but I balance it. I don't just let Saturn take over. I don't let the Uranus take over. I balance it. But a person who really shuns away from that responsible, self-aware energy coming from Saturn and just kind of gives in to the energy of Uranus, the unpredictable, that kind of energy, those kind of Aquarius are the ones who have problems with money. Those are the kind of Aquarius who will spend all their money if they get any, because they're too lazy. In a lot of cases, they're too lazy to make consistent money. So when they do get money, they spend it all. So those kind of Aquarius are the ones you have to watch out for. And I don't think his girlfriend is that kind of person. Again, she's been maintaining this residence by herself throughout their relationship, which has been months and months and months. She would have already had shut off notices. She would have had evictions. She would have had things you may or may not have seen like that, or she may have mentioned something along those lines. So I would take it into account that more than likely she's probably pretty good with money. But if I were you, I would ask her. I would talk to her. If you're planning to move in with her, you should talk to her. Ask her about her financial strengths and weaknesses. Decide how you guys want to divvy things up. Who's going to be responsible for paying the bills? Is it going to be, you putting all the money into one account and then one of you is responsible for transferring it, or what you're going to do? This is a conversation I would have before I moved in. I would talk to her about this now. I would say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about us moving together, but I want to make sure our finances are right. What do you think? And talk to her. Ask her, is she a person who's good at paying bills on time? Or should you be the one that takes over that? Should you make a joint bank account where the two of you can put all the money into from your individual bank accounts? Or do you want me to I'll pay the rent and you just pay all the bills? There's a lot of ways you can do this, but you need to have a conversation with her about financial expectations, because one of the things that a lot of couples break up over is money. Money and communication, according to statistics, are the two things that break couples up most often. Because they'll start to fight about money, and if they don't see eye to eye, like in the case of me and my ex-husband, they may do resentful shit like that when they feel some type of way. Because at that point in time, like I said, he wasn't working and I was putting all the money into the house. And he was resentful because he didn't have any money. But I'm like, dude, the water bill is much more important than your new PlayStation game. So you guys need to have those kinds of conversations before you move in together and make some decisions. She may say to you, you know what? I'm so absent-minded, I never remember to do the bills on time. Why don't we just do it where they can come out directly? We can have a joint bank account. We both put the money into it on payday, and the bills come out automatically on a certain date. There are a lot of ways that you can do this, but you need to talk about it. And like I said, generally, and you said she has a good job, so generally that would be a person who would be good with their money, But like I said, money is a vibration, and it's also a skill. Some people know how to work money better than others. So it may even be some things she may be able to teach you, and vice versa. So I would have this conversation with her. Likewise, it also depends on her root chakra. Your root chakra is going to be the determining factor in if you're able to draw money to you, abundance to you, or not. So if she has a weak root chakra, She may make money, but may have a hard time holding on to it. May even have a hard time drawing the amount that she deserves towards her. So it's a number of things with that. That's something she might not even know. But the other day, I did a video on chakras. And if you go to that video, there's a chakra test underneath the video. If you take the chakra test, both of you, you can see where her root chakra is. And that'll tell you whether or not there may be issues in that area. And then secondly, like I said before, have the conversation. Those two things could be very beneficial in you making this decision. Okay? Thanks for your question. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you would like to be one of my special patrons, please hit the link underneath this video and go check out my Patreon page. Also, if you would like to get a reading done, my email is underneath this video too. Please hit me up and I'll give you an appointment. All right, guys, so it's time for me to get going. See you later.